Hey guys, today we're playing Gauntlet on the Sega Master System. So that thing doesn't give you enough time, so I'm gonna select a warrior. So they kept the speech from the arcade game, which is impressive. Get these ghosts. The only thing I noticed about this version off the bat is this weird thing where he steps back and forth. Now, maybe that was in the arcade game, which I also have, but I haven't played it in a while, so I can't tell you offhand, but I don't remember that. I remember playing it smoothly. I think the colors are a little bit off in the arcade. I guess it's because they have to show so much stuff at the same time. Maybe there was like somewhat of a frame rate cut. These things just keep on coming at you. So this was one of those games where you kept on putting quarters in to stay alive, basically. Oh shit. I'll do the little bottleneck effect. Yeah, I know there's way more than that. Come on. This place appears to be haunted. Come on. There was a few sequels of Gauntlet before the 3D ones, and to be honest with you, I don't know the huge difference between like Gauntlet 1 or 2. I don't know if I played 3 or not. Maybe a port of 3, but I don't think I played the arcade. But there's probably subtle differences. I haven't played the NES port of this. I might have to check it out sometime. I wonder if it has a speech. The NES it was capable of speech. All this time I was just level 4. Is that the level I got to? Do you level up in this? I can't remember shit. I spent some time, like me and my sister would play this game, and I just don't remember anything about it. It sucks getting old, man. What's that all about? Alright, let's go through this maze. Compared to the other games that were out at the time, this was quite different, and the idea to keep on feeding quarters to stay alive is pretty cool. Well, this is kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, it's not like an RPG or anything, but that's kind of what the game is loosely based on. I had friends that played Dungeons and Dragons, but I never played it. Not that I had anything against it. I guess I have a short attention span, and just a pen and paper game would make me lose interest, which is really sad. But I can't even stand playing like poker or card games or anything like that. Like if a game has a lot of rules or all these things to remember, like it's just too much. And it's not that I'm not retarded. That's a mean way to say it. It's not that I'm stupid or anything. It just doesn't help. I get distracted easy. Ironically, I can play Final Fantasy games just fine. Although I tend not to like the earlier ones because I don't like a lot of grinding, but sometimes it's acceptable. Like I'm playing Persona 4, and if you don't have the right persona, you gotta grind the crap out of. I don't even know what the other button does. Does that give you health? You gotta grind the crap out of your characters to get anywhere. But I did like Dragon Quest VIII when that came out. I'm curious what the DS versions will be like. Those are sort of games I would like to show you, but I'm still trying to figure out an interesting way to do it because I refuse to do any kind of let's play of an RPG. I just don't think that would be. Let me through, you assholes. Level 5. It just keeps going. I guess what's good about the simplistic nature of they kind of look like Angry Birds. The simplistic, I don't know why, that might just be me. The simplistic nature of this game is that like you can have a lot of levels. So far I'm enjoying myself. I mean, it's not as pretty or as, I wouldn't call the arcade game pretty, but it looks nice, but I think the arcade looks a little bit nicer. And the sounds in Gauntlet in the arcade game had a lot more voiceovers and stuff. Usually they'd say what kind of character you are and stuff like that. And usually when you grab stuff. But as I was saying, I can't find a really good way right now, or I can't think of a really good way right now where it'd be interesting to record an RPG without it being extremely boring. Unless I cut out all the grinding and stuff like that, but that would be hard to film like a commentary unless it was just me watching the video and recording the commentary. I did some of that like on my earlier videos, like kind of like I was watching the movie and it's Mystery Science Theater 3000, except you couldn't see my ginormous head while watching the movie. But I wasn't breaking the fourth wall or anything. I was just talking about the game. I tend to think the reactions to the games are more interesting. I hope this level doesn't contain more Angry Birds. Oh, the flickering. Unless they're supposed to do that shit. They must be, because the other things aren't doing it. I don't want any of you guys freaking stalking me. Come on. My pellets of doom. Well, if I find a way or an interesting part about an RPG, I'd like to share it, because I know a lot of people aren't into the genre and they can be overwhelming at first, but sometimes I think if you're shown enough of the RPG, you can get interested. That's kind of how I got into it, because I wasn't really into them because I don't know, I just thought they were boring, and then once I finally got to see somebody play through one time, it made me interested, and then I started to play them on the Super Nintendo. I take that back. No, I think I did start playing on the Super Nintendo, because I was thinking that I was going to take that back, but really the first RPG I ever played on the Sega Genesis was, I know it's blasphemous to start at the fourth Phantasy Star, but that's the first RPG I played on the Sega Genesis. First RPG I ever played was Dragon Quest, or Dragon Warrior, which it was called at the time on the NES, and it appealed to me, but I was a little kid, and nobody explained the concept of grinding and leveling up and stuff like that, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing, so I didn't get very far, because I was used to playing games where you just go from point A to point B and that's it. So I don't think I really got into RPGs really until I played, which is still one of my favorite RPGs, is Super Mario RPG. That was like an easy transition. Then I went to Chrono Trigger, which is probably my all-time favorite RPG and one of my favorite games. And then after that, I played Final Fantasy VI and whatever RPG I could find on the Super Nintendo. Phantasy Star 4 was pretty good, but after playing like Chrono Trigger with Final Fantasy 3, like it wasn't the same. It was going downhill. There's a lot more grinding in the Phantasy Star games. Like, I love Phantasy Star 1 and 2, but jeez, if you don't grind, it's hard. And there's a lot of cheap attacks on it, but the story is really interesting. Oh shit. The hell is it? It sounds like the NES X-Men game. come to think about it, this kind of looks like it a little bit. Except this isn't terrible. Oh, come on. I know I haven't been talking about this game that much. Apparently, Gauntlet on the Sega Master System makes you think about other games. I don't know if that's a good thing. Take it as you will. I don't know if this game is 1 or 2 players or not. I've never played it with 2 players before. I should have figured that shit out. Most of the Gauntlet games should be, like in the arcades anyway, are like 4 players at a time. Like I remember seeing the 3D gauntlets. Those arcade cabinets were huge. Oh, there's Angry Birds everywhere. They're confusing me for a pig. I think you guys seen enough of Gauntlet. It's a pretty fun game. A decent arcade port. If you can find the arcade port on Midway Collections, or I think it's Midway Treasures or Collections, whatever the Midway compilation is on PlayStation 2 and Xbox, I'd definitely head that way to get arcade perfect ports. But if you have a Sega Master System, and if you have this, it's not a terrible game. It's good, but I wouldn't call it great. So, without further ado, like, remember that you can look at my list of consoles on my channel description, and if there's a game that you want me to play on any of those consoles, all you have to do is send me a message either on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, and if I have a means to play the game, and have the game really, like, I'll play it. So, yeah, remember to subscribe and leave a comment and to like the video. I hope to hear from you guys, see what you guys think. So, thanks for watching. Alright, take care.